every decision that I've taken is about you.
Nigeria's future takes center stage as President Tinubu inaugurates Planning Committee for National Youth Conference.
If I fail, every single one of you here has failed.
We are committed to growing the national treasury, new Accountant General of the Federation vows on assumption of office. (2025) UTME registration closes with more than 2 million candidates seeking entry into tertiary institutions. You're watching the network news on NTA, the Nigerian Television Authority. I'm Naja'atu Tijani. Joining us live from our Abuja studios, Musa Abubakar will give us business updates. Musa?
Equities market begin the week in positive territory as the Naira closes at 1,500 to $1 in the FX market.
Thank you, Musa. And Badia Adele, also in Abuja, will tell us who is winning in the sporting world. Badi.
All right, Najatu. I can say rugby is winning because the National Sports Commission's drive to make more sports popular in Nigeria is yielding positive results. And tonight, we focus on rugby.
All right then, Badi, we look forward to the details. Remember that this broadcast is being streamed live on our website, nta.ng/live. Do follow us across social media for all the latest. Our handles are displayed on the screen. President Bola Tinubu says all the major decisions he has taken in the saddle have been carried out with utmost consideration of the future generation of the country. The president said this when he inaugurated the Planning Committee for the National Youth Conference at the State House. We'll bring you details of this and other engagements of the president in due course. Meanwhile, the Renewed Hope Initiative train is now in Kogi State as part of the food outreach scheme to make an impact on the lives of the vulnerable, an initiative spearheaded by the Office of the First Lady to tackle hunger and poverty. The wife of the Vice President, Nana Shatima, who represented the First Lady, reaffirmed the Renewed Hope commitment to uplift women and vulnerable communities across the country. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
The Renewed Hope Initiative Social Investment Program and Food Outreach Scheme is part of commitment to alleviate the hardship faced by Nigerians, particularly those impacted by the economic challenges. The arrival of the wife of the Vice President, Nana Shatima, in Lokoja, the Kogi State capital, was a testament to improve the living standards for women and vulnerable groups through such empowerment and food security, which are critical pillars in the Renewed Hope agenda.
Under Renewed Hope Initiative Economic Empowerment Program, we are giving a grant of 200,000 naira for 250 persons with disability to recapitalize their existing small businesses in the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory.
As a policy, the state is on quarterly basis distribute food items as palliative to mitigate the impact of economic hardship occasioned by subsidy removal and exchange rate unification.
I want to assure you, Ma, for the total support of Kogi women. We stand ready to partner with you in all endeavors.
I'm presenting these food items for onward distribution for the selected beneficiaries on behalf of our mother.
The initiative remains an avenue to transform lives across the country through various programs in health, education, agriculture, social investment, and economic empowerment. From here, the Renewed Hope Initiative train will be moving to Abia State as the next beneficiary. From Lokoja, Kogi State, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
And First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has continued her philanthropic gesture this Ramadan with a donation of 1,000 cartons of pasta to the Muslim community in Abuja, done through the National Mosque for onward distribution to beneficiaries. Abdullahi Ajia reports.
In continuation of Nigeria's First Lady kind gesture to the Muslim community, particularly those in need, beneficiaries in Abuja were drawn from different groups, organizations, and communities. Chairman of the Distribution Committee of the Abuja National Mosque, Ustaz Abubakar Sadiq, coordinates the distribution on behalf of the board chairman, the Etsunupe. He stresses the need to emulate such gesture by the First Lady.
It means that a leader is a leader. She is the leader of both Christians and Muslims, and she is setting a standard and setting a precedent that whatever religion one professes, he's a Nigerian, and a leader should take care of all. Other First Ladies in this country, those that have gone and those that are coming, should have a lot to learn from Senator Oluremi Tinubu. His Eminence the Sultan has instructed that we should make sure that these items reach the desired recipients.
The quiz segments of Sahur Life on NTA was among the beneficiaries.
We feel honored to be able to be part of the people who would extend this to the needy, and we are saying we will do our best to ensure that her desire of ensuring that the needy get something to feed on in this glorious month of Ramadan is met.
Earlier, wife of the president had donated 1,000 bags of rice and 100 bags of sugar, which had been distributed during the first phase. This development the coordinators and beneficiaries describe as timely, while praying for Allah's benevolent grace upon the benefactor. In Abuja, Abdullah Hajia, NTA News.
Now, as promised, let's get back to the activities of the president. And recall that earlier I read that the president says all the major decisions he has taken in the saddle have been carried out with utmost consideration of the future generation of the country. The president said this when he inaugurated the planning committee for the National Youth Conference at the State House. State House correspondent Musbau Danwahab reports.
I therefore inaugurate the committee.
President Bola Tinubu is following through his assurance of inclusivity in governance. And this is another major step in carrying along the larger group of a country's population, the youth. The president, who assures that his actions on policies and programs have been in the interest of a future generation, is seemingly making another statement here, calling on the youth to come and make contributions to the future they want.
Look at me in the face. Tell me whatever you think is wrong and the way you want things done. Mine is to help navigate and push and lift the heavyweight problems so I can clear the path for you to have a very great future. But it's in your hand. You have the great opportunity of advancing the development of this country. It's all in your hands.
But while he is still at the helm of affairs, the president promises to continue to prioritize decisions that will reposition the country to an enviable status for the generations yet to come.
Every decision that I've taken is about you. It's about tomorrow. When you remove all subsidy, you are protecting the future of generations yet unborn, the youths. When we started, it looked so foggy, dicey, and hopeless. We try hard, and we're drawing water from a dry well. But today, the economy has turned the corner. Prices are falling. Confidence in our economy is improving. Investors are looking in.
You've taken bold actions in fixing our economy.
Apparently tested and now convinced in the ability of their leader to take bold decisions in the interest of the country, the committee is taking this responsibility, hoping for full support of the president.
We call that this is completely insulated from partisanship, and by the diversity of people on the planning committee, it is very clear that the intention is a confab for all Nigerians, irrespective of their geographical or political extraction.
The focus of a conference which this committee is planning for will be anchored on political engagements, economic transformation, education and skills, technology and digital transformation, climate action and energy transition, as well as social cohesion and security.
It's about Nigeria and it's about the future of this country. So I'm appealing to the young people that this is for us. It is not political.
This confab is not going to be like the ones that we've held before. This is going to go down to the communities. We're going to have it at the local communities, that is at the state level, before we go to the regional level, before we now come to the federal level.
From the State House, Musbah Nanwahab, NTA News.
Similarly, President Bola Tinubu has nudged leaders, including heads of sub-nationals, to continue to strive for a greater Nigeria desired by the citizens. President Tinubu made the plea just a while ago when he hosted state governors, members of the Federal Executive Council, service chiefs and selected heads of agencies to iftar, breaking of the Ramadan fast. Vice President Kashim Shettima and Chief of Staff to the President Femi Gbajabiamila were also part of the special iftar. President Tinubu, who acknowledged the downward trend in the prices of food commodities, attributed it to the collective effort of federal and state governments.
Usually, this is Ramadan period when prices and speculators dwell on commodities and food prices will go up. But we thank God that things are getting calmer, better. And it means we work collectively hard. I thank all of you as governors. The history, we just be there. Look upon yourself as a great navigator that will bring this country back to its promising self. It's a great nation.
We'll continue to pray for you as our leader, for God to guide you right, good health, and to lead the nation in the right direction. We're seeing light at the end of the tunnel. Exchange rate inflation, the figures are coming down. But
we should continue to pray for the nation. By praying for the nation, we are praying for ourselves. If you want to collapse it, it will collapse over your head.
Meanwhile, the senator representing Katsina South, Muhammad Mantari Dandusi, has distributed empowerment items worth more than ₦1 billion to support his constituents during the Ramadan. The event held in Funtua provided a platform for dignitaries, including the Deputy President of the Senate, Barrow Jibrin, to express support for the creation of Karadua State out of Katsina to further boost agricultural activities. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The annual Ramadan Empowerment Initiative is designed for short and long-term support to constituents in the Katsina South Senatorial District. It involves the distribution of food and livelihood support. This time, 8 trailer loads of rice, about 6,000 bags of fertilizer and 4,000 bags of maize, as well as hundreds of sewing and grinding machines will be distributed. Senator Dandusi said the beneficiaries cut across the entire 11 local government areas in Katsina South.
We are posturing ourselves towards agricultural development, industrialization, key to success, because we are an agrarian economy. For us, as students of history, Britain started with agrarian to industrial revolution. So we are determined, we are resolute.
The elated Deputy President of the Senate, Barrow Jibrin, commended Senator Dandusi for enhancing the economic well-being of his people.
because they've now been taught on how to use these items. They will now begin to work on their own, even getting others to work with them, and then they will become employers of labor. And that is what the government is talking about. That's what our president is always telling us to do, telling Nigerians to do. Rather than to go around looking for jobs, you think of how to be an employer of labor yourself.
Barrow and other stakeholders equally expressed support for the creation of Karatwa State. Senator Danduze later inspected the police area command in Funtua, which he says is intended to help address banditry in the northwest region.
We built this area command to make it as a squadron. We need 600 mobile force so that we can be able to tackle most of the challenges we have for insecurity.
Lami Ali.
The renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu prioritizes empowerment of the Nigerian youth through various educational policies, job creation and poverty reduction for a brighter future and sustainable development. The Minister of Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, and son of the President, Seyi Tinubu, restated this during the distribution of iftar food to indigents in Sokoto in continuation of their tour across states. Abdullahi Umar Ilalu reports.
Groups, particularly supporters of the All Progressives Congress APC, warmly welcomed the Minister of Youth Development Ayodele Olawande and Seyi Tinubu at the Sultan Abubakar III International Airport, Sokoto, in what has been described as a youth mission. The first destination of the special guests was the Government House, Sokoto, for a courtesy call on Governor Ahmed Aliyu. Speaking before their host, the youth minister stated that they were in Sokoto to engage young people in meaningful discussions about the future of Nigeria.
Coming together like this is not just to eat and drink. It is for us to think together because of our future of our country.
We look forward to working with the governor and deputy governor and other members of the executive and also the legislative as well.
Governor Ahmed Aliyu expressed delight at the visit, describing the Renewed Hope Youth Empowerment Initiative, spearheaded by Seyi Tinubu, as highly commendable.
This aligns with our vision in Sokoto State, where we continue to support and encourage women participation in politics and leaderships.
Governor Ahmed Aliyu later accompanied the minister and Seyi Tinubu to the Specialist Hospital Sokoto, where they distributed iftar meals to patients and their aides. In Sokoto, Abdullah Omar Illa.
NTA News. Now, reports from across the country indicate that prices of food items, particularly agricultural products, have been significantly declining in major markets. This development is attributed to the 2024 harvest, as well as government policies and programs aimed at empowering smallholder farmers. We're now joined by our agriculture correspondent, Musa Baba Aliyu, to tell us more. Musa?
Really, from the research and also fact check shows that the prices of agricultural produce in both formal and informal commodity markets have been dropping since the beginning of the year. In Nigeria, we have about two types of market. The formal market, where prices are listed based on kg per kg, and the other open market where food prices are scattered in the informal market. So in the informal market, for instance, 1 kg of sorghum, that's maize, for example, is 451 naira. As at today, that's the price. Then sorghum is 389 naira. Then rice paddy is 859. Then millet 570. Then wheat is 850 naira. These are prices in the formal commodity market, including commodity exchange. In an open market, a bag of maize is selling for between 45,000 and 60,000 naira, depending on the market and the location. While local rice, that's the processed rice, is about 80,000 to 90,000 naira, depending on location and the market. while the imported rice is between 95,000 and 100,000. But days back, before now, the prices were like for maize, it was about 60,000 to 70,000 days back, but as at today, as 45,000 to 50,000 naira, depending on your location. Additionally, a truck of cassava, which was between 360,000 naira last year, around December, is now available for about 150,000 naira, a truck of cassava. Now, while these prices, Nigerians are happy with the prices coming down. But the farmers themselves, they are finding it difficult to stand the falling down of the prices. The reason is because the price of the cost of production, put it together, the farmers are afraid that they may be discouraged to produce more food next year. For example, now, in the research conducted by the ABU University Zaria during the 2024 wet season, it was discovered that the price of cost of production increased from 423,000 naira to cultivate one hectare in 2023. But in 2024, each farmer spent about 583,505 naira to cultivate 1 hectare. So now, if the price continue to go down, it means that the farmers will not be able to have gain of their production. But recently, I had a discussion with the minister and asked him these challenges that, okay, if the produce prices continue to go down, this may affect farmers. They may not be able to produce more. But he told me that the ministry and the government is monitoring the situation in the market, and they will come to the aid of farmers if they discover that the farmers will be discouraged.
Thank you, Musa. I'm sure Nigerians will also be closely monitoring the markets. This is the Network News on NTA. Do stay tuned for more reports.
Love you too, and I'm going to miss you.
Have a safe trip.
I'm in Dubai.
Stay connected to what matters. Enjoy affordable rates with Glow Data roaming bundles when you travel abroad and no bills shock. Dial *312# and select 5 to choose your data roaming bundle.
You can't believe how beautiful this place is. Look.
Cube can ruin your meal, money, and confidence. For a tasty meal, do not compromise. Choose Gold.
Use Terra Gold for the rich, consistent taste your loved ones crave for. Good for soups, stews, and jollof. Terra Gold. 1 cube, endless possibilities.
The new Happy Sachets. It has a thick formula, so all you need is just 1 sachet for your toilet bowl. It gives 10 times better cleaning and big savings too. Wow, Helen! Sparkling clean toilet with Happy Sachet.
Watching the Network News on NTA, and still on Ramadan, a renowned Islamic scholar and Chief Missioner, Nasfat, Sheikh Morufu Unike Abdulaziz, has asked Muslim clerics in the country to avoid creating credibility deficit by avoiding partisan politics. This was at the just concluded NTA FRCN VON 19th Annual Ramadan Lecture in Kaduna. Adamu Sunday reports that the Islamic scholar affirmed the legitimacy of ulama's involvement in politics, but not to create division among the Muslim Ummah.
The annual Ramadan lecture was the 19th initiated by the then Zonal Director, Ajamari and Biwel, as part of efforts to sensitize Muslim Ummah on contemporary issues. This year's lecture, entitled Faith, Politics and Power, the involvement of ulamas in politics and its implications, elicited high degree of interest. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, and that of Livestock Development, Idi Mutar Meha, Emir of Zazo, and the former governor of Kaduna State, Mutar Ramadan Yeru, were among dignitaries at the event. It was a platform for religious discourse and faith strengthening during Ramadan.
We must uphold the rights to fulfill our obligations that all bind us together by promoting harmony, resilience, and also encouraging unity amongst our people.
This is a month of reflection on the journey so far, where we are today, and where are we going to as an ummah.
I think it's a very important, topic and timely, which I believe, the distinguished scholar, Refuge, selected to deliver this lecture will certainly do justice, to the topic.
The guest speaker, Sheikh Morufu Onike Abdulaziz, emphasized the influence of ulama in shaping public opinion.
He will advance ethical governance because they know the implication of being a bad ruler, know the implication of being a bad leader. If they are involved in politics, they will advance ethical governance.
Governor of Kaduna State Ubasani, in a message, urged the ulamas to actively engage in politics to ensure politicians uphold truth and justice.
Their involvement and engagement matters a lot to the followers.
The Director General of Nigerian Television Authority, Saliu Abdulhamid Dembos, expressed satisfaction with the commitment of the three media organizations to remain in the forefront in moral inculcation among Nigerians.
We are proud to facilitate this event, which we believe will continue to promote dialogue, enlightenment, and understanding across the country.
You can keep your faith and be in politics and also hold power.
And may the blessings of this holy month fill our hearts with peace, love, and unity.
Other speakers asked Muslims in the country to be active participants in building a strong, virile, and prosperous nation. In Kaduna, Adamu Sunday, NTA News.
The Presidency has reacted to the statement of the President, Catholic Bishops' Conference, Archbishop Lucius Iwejeru, at the opening of its first plenary meeting of 2025 in Abuja over the weekend on the state of the country. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President, Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, appreciates the constant intervention of Catholic bishops in matters of governance in the country, but points out that Nigeria has made tremendous progress in all areas since President Tinubu assumed office about 22 months ago. Nigeria, he says, is more secure today than it was in 2023, thanks to the Nigerian military and other security agencies, with more than 8,000 criminals and kidnappers eliminated, and more than 10,000 Nigerians rescued from their abductors in the last 2 years. Improved security in the northwest and the northeast have also led to farmers returning to their farms, producing more food, driving down prices of essential commodities, as affirmed by farmers in Kaduna, Kebbi, and Jigawa. President Tinubu's administration, he says, has stabilized the economy from the precarious situation it inherited on assumption of office. With improved balance of trade, strong foreign reserves, moderate inflation, and the naira gaining strength against convertible currencies. Similarly, the increased capacity in local refining on the back of Dangote Refinery and NNPCL refineries in Port Harcourt and Warri going on stream. The Special Advisor also lists the Nigerian Youth Investment Fund and other programs such as the IDICE, NIA, and others as ones catalyzing youth employment, enhancing their capacity, and harnessing their ingenuity. More than ever, the country, he says, has increased revenue collection phenomenally and is mobilizing more local revenue to fund critical development priorities. The 54.9 trillion 2025 budget, he says, is designed to revitalize the economy and set it on a new growth trajectory, while local and international institutions have continued to acknowledge reforms which have made Nigeria most competitive in 25 years. The Presidency, while noting that many Nigerians still face difficulties, government remains convinced that the right decisions to lead a better and more prosperous country are being made by President Tinubu and his team, and will continue to work very hard for a greater and stronger Nigeria. 75 persons, including children, have been successfully rescued from Sambisa Forest General Area of Borno State. This follows ongoing efforts by troops of Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadenkai. Umar Jambarma reports.
The ongoing offensive of troops of Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai is no doubt yielding the desired result, as it has denied terrorists freedom of action, which led to the rescue of these 75 persons. Deputy Theatre Commander Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai, Brigadier General Anthony Okpodu, maintained that the war against insurgency and other related activities are not insurmountable, and reiterated commitment to sustain the onslaught against all adversaries of peace towards restoring normalcy to the theater.
During the recent operations, troops provided critical interventions including child vaccination, first aid, medical care, and the distribution of food and relief materials.
Receiving the rescued persons on behalf of the Borno State Government, Director Social Welfare in the State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, Aishatu Shetima, acknowledged the immeasurable contributions of troops in frontline fighting insurgency.
We are taking them to our interim care center. We provide services like livelihood support. We provide services like counseling services, mental health and psychosocial support, livelihood program for the women, and also educational services for the children.
The Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai has rescued significant number of captives within the theater in recent months, a clear testament of the Nigerian Army's unwavering determination to end terrorism. In Maiduguri, Umar Jambarima, NTA News.
Thank you, Umar Jambarima. Meanwhile, former Kaduna State Governor and founding member of the All Progressives Congress, Nasiru Ahmed El-Rufai, has resigned from the ruling All Progressives Party, APC, to the Social Democratic Party, SDP. El-Rufai made this known in a press statement released on his X handle on Monday, saying this is after consultation with mentors, colleagues and loyalists who have advised him to settle for SDP in preparation for the 2027 general elections. Meanwhile, the Kaduna State chapter of the All Progressives Congress says it is not worried about the defection of the former governor of the state, Nasiru Ahmed El-Rufai, from the party to the Social Democratic Party, SDP. The secretary of the Kaduna APC, Yahya Baba Pate, says the party is focused on delivering the state to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Governor Uba Sani in 2027, expressing confidence in the party's growing strength in the state, citing the influx of high-profile politicians joining the party daily in the state. Meanwhile, the federal government is mobilizing developers to access private sector funding for electrification of unserved and underserved communities in the country. Joshua Ujito reports that at a stakeholder engagement in Abuja, the Rural Electrification Agency signed an agreement with some developers on implementation of renewable energy projects.
With an ambitious target to provide electricity to 17.5 million Nigerians through various interventions, Rural Electrification Agency believes collaboration with developers will ensure speedy implementation and sustainability of renewable energy projects.
For us to make Nigeria to be the renewable hub, there is a need for financial, there is a need for projects, there is need of implementation vehicle, there is need of operational framework, and there is need for domestication.
Under the various interventions to provide electricity to communities, 1.2 gigawatts PV panel assembly plant is to be established in the country with value addition for local content, thereby creating jobs. 4 renewable energy service companies signed the Memorandum of Understanding to key into the implementation of the Distributed Access Through Renewable Energy Scale-up, DARE, among other interventions.
Apart from the $750 million DARE project that's already with us, Mr. President had approved a 100 billion naira funding for Rural Electrification Agency to implement what we call the National Public Sector Solarization Initiative, which is a federal government initiative to reduce cost of governance.
It is expected that more developers and subnationals will leverage opportunities in the renewable energy subsector so as to close the energy gap in the country. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Do stay tuned for more reports after some messages.
There are more reasons to love Golden Penny pasta. What's your reason? Great taste? Good nutrition.
The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has officially closed registration for the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME. According to JAMB, the registration process, which commenced on February 3, 2025, saw a total of 2,030,627 candidates successfully completing their registration. These candidates are now set to participate in the UTME scheduled for April 25, 2025. This figure does not include candidates who registered to take the examination in foreign centers. Additionally, 200,115 candidates have expressed interest in sitting for the optional mock UTME scheduled for April 5, 2025. Among them, 630 candidates have registered for the trial mock examination, which will also take place on the same date. It's time to join Musa for those updates he promised us on the Business Circle. Musa?
Let's begin with currency. The Nigerian Naira experienced mixed performance across key segments of the foreign exchange market at the close of trading today. At the official market, the Naira closed at 1,530 Naira 15 kobo per US dollar, reflecting ongoing efforts to stabilize the currency amidst fluctuating demand and supply dynamics. In the Bureau de Change BDC segment, the Naira traded slightly weaker at 1,575 Naira to the dollar, highlighting the persistent pressure in the parallel market. Against other major currencies, the Naira showed varying trends. The British pound closed at 2,010 Naira, the Euro at 1,675 Naira, and the Chinese Yuan settled at 215 Naira. Analysts attribute the movements in the exchange rates to factors such as fluctuating foreign reserves, market speculation, and the central bank's monetary policies aimed at ensuring liquidity and stability. Now, the Nigerian stock market closed today's trading session on a positive note. The all-share index advanced to 106,621.91 points, signaling a bullish trend and positive investor sentiment across key sectors. The market's upward movement was driven by sustained interest in high-performing stocks, contributing to the overall positive momentum. Trading activity remained robust with 14,565 deals recorded during the session. The market also saw a substantial volume of 364.97 million shares exchanged, value at 17.63 billion naira, underscoring strong investor participation. Furthermore, the equity market capitalization appreciated, closing at approximately 66.7 trillion naira, a reflection of the gains recorded in major stocks and overall market growth. Fidelity Bank recorded the highest volume of 56.4 million traded shares, followed by Access Holdings, Zenith Bank, and Africa Prudential. Well, that's it. The news continues after the break.
Daring, that's the cocoa. Let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate.
The new Accountant General of the Federation, Shamsuldeen Ogunjimi, has resumed office in Abuja with a pledge to sustain reforms which will grow the nation's treasury while ensuring accountability and transparency. And now let's join Badi in his sporting corner for those updates he promised. Badi?
Many thanks, Najato. Straight to football now. The preliminary matches of the 7th edition of the Bayelsa State Governors Grassroots Football Tournament, known as the Prosperity Cup, kicked off over the weekend in Bras and Nembe local government areas of the state. At the Nembe City Stadium on Sunday, Nembe FC defeated Fantuo 2-0 to advance to the next round. Goals from Jackson, Idubamo and Clement Bruno in each half secured the victory for Nembe. While in the same venue, Okuruba FC won against NTA FC 7-6 after a penalty shootout. Now, following the recent election of the first executive members of the West African Rugby Federation in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, President of the Nigeria Rugby Football Federation, Ademolare, who was elected the first vice president of the union, has expressed his excitement regarding the future of rugby in West Africa.
Nigeria wants, we can overrun all these countries because we have the players. All we are looking for, we are praying for, and we are trying to get is the full cooperation of the management of National Sports Commission. We are doing our best, but with their full backing, the DG being on our side, the chairman being on our side, and the willingness to take.
Of course, that does it on Sports Tonight. Let's return to Nigeria too.
Thank you very much, Badi. On a solemn note, President Bola Tinubu extends heartfelt condolences to the family, students and mentees of the distinguished legal scholar, Professor Harisu Sufiani Chukwu, who passed away on Sunday in Abuja, aged 79. President Tinubu recalls Professor Chukwu's contribution to producing generations of lawyers, among whom are serving justices of the Supreme Court of Nigeria and the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu. The president extols the late professor's enduring legacy in legal scholarship and practice. Professor Chukwu's legacy also lives on through his children, including Abdul Karim Chukwu, immediate past acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The president urges the family to find solace in his remarkable achievements and the enduring impact of his work. On that note, we conclude the network news on NTA. Thanks for being a part of it. Ramadan Mubarak.